Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the inaugural induction ceremony of the Brook Hill Athletics Hall of Honor. Today, we have the opportunity to celebrate the contributions made by a very special group of student athletes, coaches, teams, and supporters for their tremendous achievements to the Brook Hill Athletic Program from the years of 1997 through 2012. We want to express our thanks to each and every one of you for making the effort to join us today as we recognize these teams and individuals for their outstanding contributions. At this time, would you please stand and give a big round of applause as we welcome our first class of individual inductees to today's Brook Hill Athletics Hall of Honor ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please welcome our co-masters of ceremony for this event, Brook Hill head girls basketball coach Jeremy Hubbard and Brook Hill alumni class of 2004, Aaron Swink.
Got me, Brian? There we go. All right. Today is a very special day in the life of the Brook Hill School as we do announce the inaugural Brook Hill Hall of Honor class in athletics. Being selected to the Hall of Honor is of special significance as it recognizes the contributions made by those who played the game, those who coached the games, and all the people behind the scenes who made that possible.
Our first class of inductees is a very special group of people as they led the way for what was and still is a relatively young school that was trying to establish itself as a legitimate contender in all sports for men and women. The first induction class is small, which helps to emphasize how important it is to be inducted to the Brook Hill Hall of Honor today and in the future. If you look in your program, you will see the order in which we will recognize each group of recipients. To begin the recognition of these special people, I want to turn it back over to Coach Hubbard as we recognize the inaugural class of coaches inducted into the Brook Hill Athletics Hall of Honor. Coach?
Yeah, thank you, Aaron. 6 years ago, Brook Hill Athletic Director Wally Dawkins, who, by the way, is in his 18th year as the athletic director, was charged by the school's administration to begin the process to one day announce the Brook Hill Athletics first Hall of Honor class, and today is that day. After doing years of research by several Brook Hill staff members, criteria was developed for each category of honorees. And so before we recognize our first two inductees in the coaches category, let's look together at the criteria for a coach to be inducted into the Brook Hill Athletics Hall of Honor.
The criteria for coaches. They must have coached at the Brook Hill School for a minimum of 3 years and was an employee in good standing with the Brook Hill School and the Brook Hill Athletic Department upon departure. It has been a minimum of 5 years since the nominated coach departed Brook Hill. Achieve success as a coach that may include, but is not limited to, state championships, state Final Four appearances, long-term success, made a profound impact for good on the Brook Hill School and the athletic program, and played a significant role in impacting the lives of student athletes in a positive manner. Has never been involved in an event or activity that would bring reproach on the Brook Hill School or the Brook Hill Athletic Department, promotes the Brook Hill School both publicly and privately, continues to believe in the mission, vision, and core values of the Brook Hill School, and they may be nominated based on multiple factors such as involvement in athletics, having a significant impact on the life of student athletes, and civic duties.
Today we do get the opportunity to introduce and induct two coaches who meet those criteria and impacted student athletes both on the field and off the field. And the first coach today that we will be inducting is Coach Sean Collins. Coach Collins served as the head baseball coach. Coach Collins served as the head baseball coach, assistant basketball coach here at Brook Hill, coach of the 2004 TAPS Baseball State Champions, 5-time District Coach of the Year. His record at Brook Hill was 121-33, and he was recognized as the 2004 TAPS 2A Baseball Coach of the Year. Here to present Coach Sean Collins for induction to the Hall of Honor is former head baseball coach at Brook Hill, Vince Veazey.
Check, check. I love Brook Hill and I love Sean Collins and his family. I only have 3 minutes, by the way, to try and sum up Sean Collins. And if you know, that's just not possible, but I'll do my best. I should just be able to say, here's Sean Collins, you know him. And for some of you, that's true, but here we go. I met Sean in 1995, and don't all of a sudden get good at math. The first week he moved to Tyler. He was on a baseball team in Colorado in the league that the Tyler Wildcatters were in, and that team, halfway through the season, had to dissolve because of financial reasons. I'm working at the baseball field on the grounds crew, and the first week he's in town, I meet him, and we just hit it off. He became a mentor of mine, and he started creating baseball camps. The very first baseball camp had 7 kids. And if you know anything about his baseball camps, that's the last time he had 7 kids. Those camps became a networking engine for Brook Hill at some point. I'm sure there's people that are here today that the first time they were on this campus was at a Sean Collins baseball camp. At some point, Sean had a great season with Tyler and was signed by the Rangers. And I remember driving him to the airport and seeing him leave, take off, and I just thought to myself, that's the end of an era in Tyler, because he was Mr. Baseball for Tyler. He was on the news doing baseball tips. He was just the guy that everyone loved. Well, good thing for us, baseball's really hard, and he came back and set up roots here. Came on board with Brook Hill. When he started here, he was actually living in the cabin right there at the entrance. He continued those camps. He built the middle school program, then he built the varsity program, and then just succeeded all the way through. And if you ever were at one of his camps, you know that he had a knack with nicknames. He gave a nickname to every kid, and it wouldn't make any sense to the parent what it sounded like. But it was always special to the kid. He could make a kid feel special. And I heard a quote a couple months ago, and I rewrote it in a way that made sense to me at the time. So I'm going to read this quote that's a misquote, I guess. The key to dang near anything is to make people feel like they are the best version of themselves while around you. And I think that sums up Sean Collins. Help me welcome to the stage the best salesperson I've ever known, a visionary, author, entrepreneur, your best hype man, mentor, one heck of a coach, my friend and yours, Coach Sean Collins.
Each individual recipient this afternoon will receive an official Brook Hill Athletics Hall of Honor blazer and a personalized glass crystal trophy.
So I won't be here long. Wally only gave me an hour to speak, so I will do my best. But I just want to say that first and foremost, I want to give honor to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And not just out of just saying it. When we had nothing here, we would go into a room with the leadership and pray, and then God would answer that. So if you look all around you, you are sitting in answered prayer. It wasn't just about baseball, it was about everything. Because these children will come through the doors with different gifts and desires, and we try to cater to all of it. And we've had children, I've been keeping tabs on things. Children upon children have been impacted by the Brook Hill School. I want to give honor to Steve Dement. Where's Steve? Have to give honor to Steve Dement because he didn't have to be obedient to the charge God gave him. He could have been laying in bed and God gave him the dream and he did it. So I want to give honor to Steve Dement. Another pillar of the school, the actual spirit and heart of the school, Ginger Bill. Without a shadow of a doubt, all the babies who were unsure of themselves and they didn't have confidence because they were coming into a new situation, they ended up in her office. That is the spirit and heart of the school. Glenn Ballard, with nothing, did wonderful productions. He needs to get a round of applause. Brandon Watson was the male version of Ginger Bill. Brandon Watson. The children ran to him, they loved him. The reason why the school grew, because we had pillars that the children loved. And that's the only way it'll keep going. I want to give honor to my baseball players. No, before I get to that, has anyone ever seen the embodiment of grace and mercy? Mom, stand up. My mother, my whole life, stand up. I want to give honor to my mom. Where would I be? I want to give honor to my father who's not here anymore. We don't know, children, kids, we don't know what our parents have gone through to make sure that you have what you need. You honor your mother and father their entire life, and it will go well with you, as the Bible says. So I want to honor my mom, I want to honor my father, and all those that came before me, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here. My baseball players, who put up with me, and I put up with them. Some of the teachers say they're knuckleheads, and you got to do something about it. So they sent them to me to discipline them. I discipline them with a bucket of ground balls and some batting practice. And I tell the teachers, they will be just fine. I'm going to be egotistical right now, but you know what? Fast forward, they are all just fine. If you played for me, stand up. If you played Craig, stand up. Austin, stand up. Chase. I had some of these boys since they were 8, 9 years old. Now look at them. Where are they? I love them. So I'm grateful that I was able to come here and be a part of this. If it wasn't for Brook Hill, I wouldn't have had this experience in my life. Some of the staff here, I knew them. They're still here. I've known them for a long time. They carry the spirit of the founders of the school. But to conclude, I'm grateful for this. And my charge, I talked to my ball players about how to hit a curveball, how to get the right jump, how to read the defense, read where the guy's going to hit it, how to hit a spot instead of throwing 100. Let's hit a spot, whatever, how to field the position. Then they talked to me about girls in college. Then they talked to me about business when they graduated. Now this is Coach Collins talking. I know I got to go. But I pray that you would know the God of the Bible, that you would know him intently, because I told you when you were babies that you would inherit a dark world. It's not about baseball. It's about you being the man of God that you are, the father I told you to be, the son I told you to be, the daddy I told you to be. Now it's the next chapter. So I pray that you know the God of the Bible and you follow him, and you can hear his voice in the midst of millions and millions of people, but you can hear his voice, and you go the opposite direction. That's my charge to you now. Thank you all for having me.
The second coach we will recognize as a member of the Brook Hill Hall of Honor from the years 1997 to 2012 is Coach Terry Purle. And Coach Purle served as head football coach, head baseball coach, assistant boys basketball coach at Brook Hill, TAPS baseball state champion in 2010, 11, and 12, TAPS football state champion in 2011, a career baseball record of 301 wins, 138 losses. What happened there, Coach? And a career football record of 116 wins and 40 losses. And here to present Coach Purle today, my friend Coach David Collins.
It's not as many pages as it looks. The font is quite big. First thing, I want to say how great it is to be here today and be part of this moment. I want to congratulate all the inductees today for this accomplishment and the way that you represented Brook Hill and the legacy that you guys have left behind us have laid the foundation for what we have today. And thank you guys for being what you were and what you mean to Brook Hill. We appreciate you guys so much. And it's great to honor you today. But I have the honor of introducing and presenting my good friend Terry Purtle. I've had the privilege of knowing Coach Pirtle for 16 years. During this time, I got to coach with him on our football staff, part of the state championship team. But the most important thing that Terry Purtle is to me is he's my friend, and it's an honor to be able to recognize him today and spend a few minutes talking about him. He grew up in Longview, went to Pine Tree High School, went to Sam Houston State University, received his master's and bachelor's degree in kinesiology and exercise science. Coach Pirtle, after graduating, began his coaching career at Chapel Hill. He was part of the state championship team on that football staff in 1989, and throughout his career, he's been head football coach, baseball coach, assistant basketball coach. However, on a side note that I'm not sure he really wants a lot of people to know is he was a soccer coach. And I believe that it was this experience that made him the coach that he was today, was coaching on the soccer field. But he is a great guy. Throughout his coaching career, he has had tremendous success. As Coach said, his overall football record was 116-40. At Brook Hill, he was 40 wins and 13 losses, leading us to 3 state championship games and a state championship in 2011. As a head baseball coach, his record is 301 wins and 138 losses. At Brook Hill, he was 82-9 in his career, only 9 losses at Brook Hill, with 3 state championships. But for all the great accomplishments that Coach Pirtle has, it doesn't even touch the kind of man that he is. A godly man who loves the Lord and truly embodies what it means to put others before yourself. His love for the Lord is huge. His love for his family is tremendous. They're all here today. His wife, Terry Ann, his daughter, Caitlin, Travis, who is on the stage with us today, and his daughter, Olivia. And he loved so much the players that he coached during that time. And it is it's evident by the way that he represents them and talks about them and the type of men that they are today. The impact of a coach has the ability to influence people for the rest of their lives. And it is very evident that Terry Purtle is this kind of coach. And so it gives me great pleasure and privilege to introduce my friend for enshrinement into the Brook Hill Hall of Honor, Coach Terry Purtle.
First of all, I'd like to thank Wally for letting me follow Sean Collins. Really? Good afternoon, everybody. I'm a little bit more scripted. I don't want to get off track. I want to thank people that deserve honoring you as well. First of all, I want to thank my beautiful wife, Terry Purle, wherever she is. She has been a coach's wife for 37 years, and she has always been the perfect coach's wife. Never assuming that I was going to not try to further my career and have as many kids in my life that I get to coach. She has always been supportive and always reminds me that sometimes I wasn't there for some important accomplishments of my own kids, but she has always been the one that has driven me to chase my passion of coaching, because coaching is really a passion. You got to have the passion to do this job. So first of all, I want to thank David Collins for presenting me with this award. You give me too much credit, my friend, honestly. I can remember when I first got here, I didn't bring a bunch of staff with me. Wally told me about day 2, look, you're the second choice in this job. Are you okay with that? Yes, I am. I was happy to get this job. Some guy named George Teague was the first person they offered to it. His wife didn't want to live in Tyler, so I got the job. So there it is. That's a true story. Wally would never tell you anything but the truth. I don't know if y'all know that about him. So, being recognized as a Hall of Honor coach at Brook Hill is incredibly humbling. I'm grateful, I'm honored, and very thankful to be standing here in front of each and every one of you today. There are 4 years of my life that I spent here that I will never forget. Not because of the wins or the records, though those were meaningful to me, and I felt they were important when I was in my 40s. When I look back now, I know it was because of the people that are filling this room today and the kids that are sitting on this stage today. The parents that trusted me with their children, and many of you guys are here today because your sons are getting honored today, especially too. Man, I appreciate you trusting me with your kids. That meant everything to me, and I know that every year that I've coached, I know that's been important to understand the role of the parent when I'm coaching, and you are important and you are valued. Most importantly, the student athletes that I was able to coach, they meant so much to me. Those teams that I had at Brook Hill were special, honestly. And I kid with people like, I really just drove the bus. And I had a good CDL, and I drove the bus without incident for 4 years here. Amazing. I got your kids there. I fed them. I loved on them. Hopefully I'll put them in the right spot to be successful. And we got back home safely so that you knew your son was trusted, not only with my coaching, but how I drove that bus, right? These kids that I had, though, they had character, toughness, and the way they cared for each other is evident today. Some of these guys haven't seen each other in 10 years, and immediately they're brothers. And I love that about this place. They created that. When I officially left Brook Hill in May of 2013 to accept a position in Houston, I knew I was leaving a place that had created memories I would carry with me for the rest of my life. What made this school different started with leadership. Steve Dement established a special mission here, and one of his best hires was Wally Dawkins. Across the state, people know about Coach Dawkins' athletic program. I've often heard, and I've traveled a lot of places competing, man, I wish I could coach at Brook Hill. That says a lot about you, Coach Dawkins. I played a small part in the history of this place, the school, the program, but it has been one of the greatest blessings of my career that I was able to coach here. If my family wasn't all in Houston, I might try to come back one day. But I'm going to be in Houston with my family. So to the committee, thank you so much for this honor. I know it's through the Lord that I've traveled the path that I have, and I was so blessed for this to be a part of my career for the 4 years I was here, and they were the best moments of my life. And I knew that when I left. But I'm so
proud, grateful, and forever a Brook Hill coach. I'm forever trusted as a Brook Hill guard coach, and this is a really special event for all of us today. So thank you so much, committee, for allowing me to be in this role today, and I look forward to inducting the people that we really need to look at, which are these kids over here. Thank you so much, guys.
At this time, our two Brook Hill Hall of Honor coach inductees will now have their pictures taken with our Hall of Honor Selection Committee. The Hall of Honor Selection Committee is comprised of longtime Brook Hill coaches. First is state champion head softball coach Anthony Springer in his 16th year at Brook Hill. '19-year Brook Hill coach Austin Reed, assistant football, soccer, and served as the head baseball and assistant baseball coach. Coach Tiffany Hubbard, Brook Hill Director of Spirit Teams and Athletic Administrative Assistant, who is in her 13th year at Brook Hill. Brook Hill head soccer coach David Collins, who has won 2 state championships as the girls soccer coach and 2 state championships with the boys team, 1 state championship in football, and is in his 23rd year. And Brook Hill Athletic Director Wally Dawkins, who is in his 18th year as the athletic director and has had 18 teams win state championships and 18 more finish as state runner-up. Our Hall of Honor Selection Committee brings a wealth of experience while upholding the traditions and visions of the Brook Hill School. Ladies and gentlemen, our Hall of Honor Selection Committee.
That concludes our coaches portion of the Hall of Honor. Congratulations to 2 outstanding men and coaches that set the bar high. To go to our next category, I'll turn it over to Aaron Swink.
Thanks, Jeremy. The Brook Hill School has been blessed over the years to have had many outstanding athletes who have not only been successful on the fields, the courts, but have also represented the school in an exemplary fashion just in their daily lives. And the way they represent the school and the way they represent the Lord. Today and in future Hall of Honor induction ceremonies, we want to recognize an extra special group worthy of recognition into the Hall of Honor in the athlete category. So first, let's take a quick look at the criteria established by the committee to be recognized as part of the special group of athletes.
Criteria for athletes. Attend the Brook Hill Upper School for 3 consecutive years and have graduated from the Brook Hill School in good standing with the faculty, administration, and athletic department. Must have graduated from the Brook Hill School at least 10 years prior to being considered for nomination. Achieve significant athletic achievement and recognition, including, but not limited to, a combination of multiple TAPS First Team All-State Awards, winning an individual TAPS state championship, represented the school at a championship level in multiple sports, and or recorded outstanding statistics and achievements while participating in athletics while at Brook Hill. Continue to represent the Brook Hill School in a positive manner after graduation, has never been involved in an event or activity that would bring reproach upon the Brook Hill School or the Brook Hill Athletic Department, may or may not have competed collegiately or professionally, but such achievements may be considered in the nomination. Promotes the Brook Hill School and the Brook Hill Athletic Department both publicly and privately, and continues to support the mission, vision, and core principles of the Brook Hill School. May be nominated based on a combination of athletic achievements, civic involvement, or success achieved after graduation.
We are honored to have with us this afternoon 8 outstanding individual athletes who meet the criteria as established by the committee, and all of our individual honorees presented tonight in all of our categories, the coach, athlete, and supporter categories, were all unanimous selections by the committee. Ladies and gentlemen, Our first individual athlete nominee is Miss Mary Caroline Selden Anastas, or as you probably know her, MC. MC was a multiple sport athlete here at Brook Hill, starring on the softball, volleyball, baseball, track, and soccer teams. She was named to the first team All-State softball team 3 seasons in a row. She was named second team All-State softball in the 2009-2010 season. She was the softball district MVP in the 2008-2009 season. And she was a 4-year first team all-district softball selection. Ladies and gentlemen, to introduce MC Seldon Anastas, please welcome Brook Hill head softball coach, Coach Anthony Springer.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, and all who have shaped Brook Hill through the dedication and teamwork, welcome. It is a blessing to stand here today as we celebrate the first ever inductees into the Brook Hill Hall of Honor. This recognition speaks volumes about the people you are, the impact you have made on Brook Hill, and as coaches, athletes, and supporters. And the enduring foundation that you have helped lay that has shaped the Brook Hill School and community. I got a story about MC. That's how everybody knows her, like he said. When I first came here in 2010, I was hired in 2010 in August. I started coaching volleyball. By October, I'm kind of known around here as kind of the prankster and play jokes. I'm sure I'd already jumped out, scared the kids, and did a bunch of things. But I found out and confirmed today. One day after practice in volleyball, I went to my office, which was locked, and opened up the door, and it was like a shrine to Justin Bieber and the Backstreet Boys. There was glitter bomb went off. There was posters and signs everywhere in my office, and I confirmed today that MC was kind of the leader of that crew. I found a picture researching this whole thing, and when I saw that picture, she was definitely in charge. So I confirmed that today. She was a leader, so I have no doubt it was her that led the charge on that. Today I have the privilege of introducing Mary Caroline Selden Anastas, known as MC. In our world, we have a lot of people you know you're kind of a big timer when you know MJ, Michael Jordan. You got LT, Lawrence Taylor. You got AJ, and in our world is AJ, but MC was in our world about she embodied the excellence that her spirit. Just when I got here, I kind of done some research, and just knowing what kind of person I knew MC before I got here, and just knowing what kind of player she was, her heart, her dedication, her fighting spirit. It made the transition to come to Brook Hill a lot easier. We looked at the team, and there was a few kids that could play, and she came out of the box. She led her team the year before, and she's the kind of player that could do anything for you. If you asked her the year before, she was a catcher, and then we asked her to pitch, play shortstop. She would do whatever it took. She would do whatever it took to better the team. So she had definitely put the team before herself. MC began her journey in the 7th grade, went on to graduate in 2011. She is a true multi-sport athlete. She played volleyball, basketball, soccer, softball, and track. And her career was definitely decorated in accolades and awards. She had multiple MVPs. She was all-district, like you said, 4-time All-State. Lean into that a little bit. It's a big deal to become a 1-time All-State, and she was on the All-State team 4 times. It's just an amazing accomplishment that she was able to do, and be a student athlete at the top of the class, and then just also commit to all these different sports. Because when we first started small school, it took all hands on deck. We needed all our female athletes to play everything to make it happen. And MC was willing to do that, to put the teams together. She also led her team, in 2008, she led her team to the Final Four state championship in 2008. MC's impact has not ended at graduation. When she returned to Brook Hill after earning her degree in business finance at Ole Miss in 2015, she joined our coaching staff in 2016 and 2017. Both those years, we also went to the state championship Final Four with her leadership as well. And watching her, you know, it's full circle for me as having her as a player. The last time they gave me the mic was like in 2011 because I get a little bit emotional. So I had this thing to try to get through it, and I said it back in 2011. I was looking for Google tips on how to not do this, but it was tap your head, didn't work. Put a tack in my shoe, didn't work. So Coach Dawkins really doesn't want to give me the mic too often. So, but like they said, coaching is a passion, and when you you know, are so blessed to be surrounded by great athletes and players and get to be part of their lives and their families trust you. It's such an honor and blessing. But MC and her family mean a lot to me. I'm definitely off script now, but I just, she just embodies everything that this award is about. And she's not only was a great athlete, but now she is strong in her faith. She is an amazing mother to her daughter Cameron, devoted wife to her husband Alex. MC's leadership, resilience, heart, like I said, embody everything that this award means. But I'm gonna go ahead and please welcome Mary Caroline Anastas. Give us that.
Okay, so I don't have my phone, which means I don't have any notes in front of me, but I just want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you to my coaches. Thank you to the committee that chose me. It's a true honor to be in the first class of the Hall of Honor here at Brook Hill. I want to say thank you to my parents. They made many, many sacrifices over the years for me to play travel softball, come to Brook Hill, and succeed here. And without them, I would be nothing. I want to say thank you to my coaches throughout the years. I learned a lot from them, not only on the field or on the court. I took it with me throughout my life, and I still do now. Thank you to my teammates. The wins were fun, the losses were sad, but it was always a great time. And yeah, I just want to say thank you. It's a true honor.
Our next individual athlete honoree today is Tyler Baker. And I got a chance to visit with Tyler this afternoon and told him a story I'll share with you guys. I got a chance to meet Coach Mike Leach a few years before he passed away. And I just said to him, hey, you know, you coached a kid that went to school where I coached. And he goes, yeah, who's that? And I said, Tyler Baker. And without missing a beat, if you ever knew or heard Coach Leach talk, this doesn't surprise you, but he said, Tyler Baker, the touchdown maker from Tyler, Texas. Tyler, golly, multi-sport athlete, football and basketball. Went on to play collegiately at Ole Miss first and then Washington State. All-state selection of football for 3 seasons, 08 and 09, 09, 10, and 10 and 11. Just for good measure, as a freshman in 07, 08, was all-state defensive back. Obviously all-district first team in all those years, and has a school record, 134 career touchdowns. You think at some point somebody would have tried to find him on the field. Also, first team All-State basketball in 2008, 2009, and the trend that you'll see today with these multi-sport athletes. And here to present Tyler Baker for induction to the Hall of Honor is Miss Ginger Bell.
I was looking for the teleprompter, but I think I printed my notes in large enough font that I can actually read them. I'm so happy to be here. This is so cool. I'm so grateful that y'all have put this together, and this will go on like everything else at Brook Hill, go on and get bigger and better and stronger. Tyler Baker. Education, potential, and character. Those were the three pillars which Brook Hill was based on. And we worked to create an education designed by college professors and college students, knowing our desire was for our graduates to be accepted to colleges and universities across the world. The potential component included potential in the arts, athletics, and in the classroom. We developed programs across all of these disciplines. And character, that might have been the most challenging, since we were accepting students from a wide variety of schools, some of which didn't have the same standards as we did. Many of them didn't have the same standards. And as the admissions director from the beginning, for almost 20 years, I was looking for students who would most benefit from our programs and those who would most benefit our school. And I took that job so seriously. If you ever sat in my office for an admissions interview, you know that's true. Of course, we did pray too. We wanted God's guidance. So fast forward, in 2005 or 6, I noticed an article in the Tyler paper, back when we actually had a paper, about a family who'd lost a child in a tragic accident. I felt their pain deeply, as I too had lost my sister in the same way years before. Noticing there were other children in the family, I reached out to them, and I visited, well, as you might have guessed, that family was the Baker family, and the son was Tyler. His mom, Julie, was touched by my note and reached out to me. She's an angel, y'all. She became curious about Brook Hill and wanted to know more. I was happy to share. Tyler was not so curious. I vividly remembered the day they came to campus to look around. Well, Tyler wasn't really looking around, more like looking down and not making eye. He was not interested. Julie and I had a good visit. And shortly after, she let me know she wanted Tyler to make the move from his public school and his friends to our private Christian school. With the big change in their family, she wanted to give Tyler a chance to explore new beginnings. Tyler was a natural-born athlete, and even in middle school, those talents were obvious. Baseball was one of his sports, and Sean Collins had started our middle school baseball program about the same time. Sean was well known in our community, having been a collegiate professional player and often chosen for a private coach in all of his camps. And that helped Tyler to accept the change his mom was making for him. Almost accept it. A little more background here. Tyler was an excellent student, had such a strong moral character. And that's a rare thing in middle schoolers. That's where God put me. His parents and grandparents had set the standard for him, and he caught on and thrived. So to Brook Hill he came, the middle of his 7th grade year. A new kid in the middle of the year, tough, but he was quickly accepted. Tyler went on to excel in the classroom and on the playing fields throughout his time at Brook Hill, from baseball, basketball, and finally to football. He was often the one other athletes looked to for leadership. One of the many memories I have of Tyler's time with us was at a state championship game when he'd been really sick and needed to leave the field for IV fluids multiple times. He came off the field, then right back on to get back to work. Just spoke volumes about his character. The strength carried him to college ball, where he was also a leader. I wasn't the only one who recognized Tyler was something special. During his time of discovering and fighting cancer, friends reached out to show what they thought of him. To quote one of his friends, Jeremy Chappelle, another great kid, Tyler is one of the best human beings I've ever met. Dennis and Amy Loosier said, Tyler is a definition of strength. He has the best character, and I've watched him battle on the basketball court, football field. Jake Nash said, respected and admired by anyone that's ever known him. Tyler's favorite scripture is Colossians 3:23. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for human masters. I think this just sums up what we've seen in Tyler and why he is so admired. Y'all, my mother loved Tyler Baker. You know, when he was in town one time, he actually went over to visit with her. I found a picture, it came up on Facebook this week, and it's Mother and Tyler sitting there in her living room, just smiling and laughing, and he probably even scratched her back before she left. That was something she needed always. All of this is to say Tyler is most deserving of this recognition today. I imagine he hates me saying all of this because he's such a humble guy, but I don't care. It was my turn to share how special Tyler was as a student and is still today as a man, a husband to Megan, and a daddy to Barrett. Y'all, I get to meet Barrett today. I'm so excited. Thank you for allowing me, Tyler, to speak and to present you. When he called and asked me, I don't think I could talk for a full 5 minutes, and y'all, you know that's rare for me. I'm really honored to be here, and I'm so excited to present to you Tyler Baker, or TB.
All right. What a day for me to be honored here in one of my favorite places on earth in front of most of my favorite people. You can't hardly have a conversation about me without Brook Hill coming up, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Most of the good things in my life were built by this place, or heavily influenced by it at least. My foundation, my faith in Christ, my education, beginnings of my athletic career, countless lifelong friends, and even helping me land my beautiful wife. I've always been thankful for this place, but since becoming a father, it's become even more special to me. Now that most of my prayers that go up are around my son and my new family, I find myself praying all the time for all the things that I was lucky enough to have here. I pray that Barrett gets a Ginger Bell in his life who has the courage to reach out to a family that's hurting. I pray that there's a Sean Collins who can somehow get me to come here even though I didn't want to play baseball. He's still trying to get me to play baseball, by the way. He talked me into a 30 and over league a few minutes ago. So. I hope that whatever Barrett decides to do, whatever that might be, I hope he's coached by somebody exactly like Terry Purtle. I hope that there's a Bobby Stroop who will believe in him more than he believes in himself. I hope he has teammates like Talon Harris, Ross Lee, Jeremy Chappelle, Cody Bryant, the Dickey brothers, countless others, just like these guys over here. I hope he has a J.B. Moss to give him the easiest passing yards in the world. You throw it 2 yards and watch him run at the other 80. Haven't even gotten to talk about basketball yet. As a kid growing up in White House, Texas, Wally Dawkins, Mike Krzyzewski, and Phil Jackson were pretty much the same guy to me. So when we got
Coach Wally here, I was over the moon. It's just another reason why we really had it all. Amazing teachers, amazing coaches, amazing teammates, and even the undisputed greatest football fan of all time, Jackie Lee. Lastly, I pray that Megan and I can be the parents that I had, that will consistently lay across hot coals so that I can walk to better opportunities than they had. I hope he has a dad who, no matter how tired he is, always makes time to throw the ball in the backyard, shoot hoops in the driveway, and coach me on Saturdays. I hope he has a mom like I had, who still doesn't really understand why I love this crazy game, but never stopped her from supporting me in it. From waking up at 5 a.m., literally 5 a.m. every day in the summer, and driving me to workouts and 7-on-7 and making enough food to feed an army for me and all my teammates that would come over. I couldn't have a better boy mom and better support. In closing, I want to challenge the current staff and students, as this place means a whole lot to me. If there's anything you hear about Brook Hill life today, I can promise you it's all true. And if there's anything that isn't to that standard today, I know there's a lot of great things happening here, but if there's something that's not as good, then fix it. Because really the only reason anything has ever been good around here is because super normal people put the work in and gritted their teeth and made it happen, even back to Steve Dement, turning this place from a dream into reality. So Brook Hill, again, thank you for the last 15 years. Thank you for the honor today, and thank you for continuing to build this place into the best school in the world to go to school, play sports, and see Christ. Go Guard.
Our next Hall of Honor honoree in the athlete category is one that I am proud to present to you. As a girls coach here at Brook Hill, we're fortunate that Coach Dawkins places an emphasis on female athletics, and that's not the case everywhere. And our next athlete is one of the pioneers for female athletics at Brook Hill, and that is Natalie Bruner Fischer, and most of you know her as Tally. Had a chance to visit with her about this today and how special this is. She played golf here, and she was the first female athlete to be named as an individual to the first team All-State team in TAPS at Brook Hill. She was an individual state golf champion in 2004 and was first team All-State in golf in 2002, 2003, and 2004. Here to present Tally today is Mr. Brandon Watson.
Well, it's an honor to be here at Brook Hill. It's hard to believe it was 29 years ago that Ginger, Ben, and I officed in the coffee shop, which is the cabin, when they were building Ornelas Hall and the Harrington gym. Steve stopped by every day, and his dad mowed and weeded all the fields that we had. They just so many memories, and Brook Hill will always be a special part to me and my life. And so I want to just say this. Good afternoon, Brook Hill family, honored guests, and especially the Bruner and the Fischer families. Tonight, or today, we celebrate someone who may be the least likely person in this room to ever expect to receive an honor like this. If ESPN did a 30 for 30 about her story, the title wouldn't be The Favorite, it would be The Long Shot, or maybe even The Underdog. You see, when Brook Hill first opened its doors in 1997, it was unknown. There were no traditions yet, no long list of championship, no proven track record, and yet the Bruner family took a chance. They trusted the leadership, They believed in the vision. And Tally took a leap of faith before she even picked up a golf club. If you knew Tally back then, you would know how big this leap really was. You see, Tally was the shyest student at Brook Hill. You can look at that first year picture. That young man was in it, and I'm proud of you, Aaron Swink. She was the shyest student. In fact, I don't believe I heard her speak a word for the first 3 months of school. I remember one day when I asked the students in my Bible class to give a report. It was Tally's turn. She stood up. Her hands started shaking. She started crying. I said, "It's okay. Just turn in your paper. Sit down. It's okay." That was Tally. She was quiet. She was gentle. And she was very much content to stay in the background. So imagine our surprise in 8th grade when she decided to come out for golf. She fell for it. We talked her into it. This meant leaving the comfort of her friends. It meant stepping into a sport where, at that point, it was brand new at Brook Hill. We had some guys, maybe 1 or 2 girls, and many days it was Tally practicing with the boys' golf team. See, it wasn't her nature, but she showed up anyway. And she showed up consistently. In 5 years of golf, Tally missed practice maybe 4 or 5 times. She was coachable. She was teachable. She worked hard. She competed in many tournaments as our only girls golfer and earned medalist honors along the way. Standing alone with everyone watching went really completely against her shy personality, yet she kept doing it. I remember how nervous she would get before golf tournaments. And I remember her parents, Steve and Nancy, faithfully showing up. Nancy would arrive with her iced tea. If you know Nancy, you know she probably has it with her right now. We spent many tournaments watching her baby battle the course. And anyone who's played golf knows it's you versus the course, mentally and physically. And over time, Tally began to grow. As a player, yes, but also as a young woman. She started coming out of her shell. She worked hard. We worked hard. But we also had a lot of fun, learning, and competing together. Tally qualified for the state tournament 3 straight years. As a sophomore, finished 6th, as a junior, 3rd, and then came her senior year. Guys, it was like a movie. Her game started to click. The timing was right. As we arrived at the state tournament in April 2004, at the Golf Club of Texas in San Antonio, we realized last year's state champion was back for her senior year too. The odds were stacked against Tally. But by then, something had changed. She had developed a competitive fire. Confidence was replaced with fear. It was a 2-day tournament. On day 1, Tally shot the best round of her life and led by 2 strokes. On day 2, the wind picked up and conditions started getting tough. But Tally played the best golf I had ever seen her play, even paired with the defending champion. On the day that it mattered most, she improved her personal best and won the state championship by 9 strokes. As she stood over that final putt, tears filled my eyes and memories flooded back in my mind of that little shy girl who couldn't speak in front of the class, who cried giving a Bible report, who took a chance on an unknown school, who quietly worked her way into Brook Hill history. Tally will never wear a master's green jacket, but today, almost 22 years after her historical win, she receives a symbol of her personal growth and accomplishments, a Navy Brook Hill Hall of Honor jacket. Tally, I'm incredibly proud of the woman, the wife, the mother that you've become. Your story reminds me of Deuteronomy 31:8. It says this, "It is the Lord who goes before you, and he will be with you. He will not leave you or forsake you. Do not fear or be dismayed." It was my complete honor to coach you. You were loved. Welcome home, and welcome to the Hall of Honor.
Who would have imagined that 20 years later, we would be standing here together? Your dedication and commitment to helping me succeed has meant more to me than I can express. I will always be grateful for your support. I also want to thank my parents who were there for me through everything. It's such an honor to represent Brook Hill in golf all those years ago, and I'm truly delighted to see how much this school has grown. The progress we see today is a powerful testament to the vision of Mr. Dement. I'm especially excited that my children, Aubrey and Austin, they'll have an opportunity to experience this incredible place as well. Thank you.
At this time, we'd like to honor our next Hall of Honor individual athlete who unfortunately couldn't be here with us today due to a family emergency. But Eric Kennedy, class of 2005. Eric was a multi-sport athlete. He played soccer and baseball. He was a member of the state baseball champions, first in school history in 2004. I had the privilege of spending a lot of time in the dugout with that team, with the team in 2003. And I can't remember, and all the guys that are here, and Coach Collins, I can't remember Eric Kennedy getting up to bat and not getting on base in the 04 season. I mean, he was automatic, was Eric. He was first team All-State in the 2003 and 2004 seasons in baseball, All-District those same years. He was first team All-State in soccer in the 03-04 season. He was as impactful on the soccer field as he was on the baseball field. He was a two-time All-District soccer player as well. Eric, as I said, was not able to be here with us today, but we are extremely proud of Eric. We know we do want to thank NetSN, who is streaming our ceremony here today, and I hope that Eric will get a chance to see this and to see how thankful we are for what he has contributed to Brook Hill. So would you please give a round of applause to Mr. Eric Kennedy. And now our next individual honoree is Mr. Austin Langmire. Austin also, as this is a theme, you'll notice, He was also a multi-sport athlete. In these early years for Brook Hill, the athletes, the teachers, the coaches, everybody wore multiple hats in those early years, and Austin was no different. He was a competitor in track, basketball, football, and cross country. He was the TAPS 3A Athlete of the Year for the 2010-2011 school year. He was on Coach Pirtle's 2011 state championship football team. He was an individual state champion in track in both the 800 meters and the 1600 meters. He was first team All-State in track for the 2010-2011 school year. And he was also first team All-State in basketball in the 2011-2012 school year. He received All-State honors in football for his play as a wide receiver in 2011-2012 and for his play in the defensive backfield in that same year. He was named to the second team. He was first team All-District in football for the 2011-2012 season, and he was All-State in cross country. If you're noticing a pattern, Austin could do it all. He was first team All-State in cross country for the 2010-2011 school year. It is my pleasure to introduce to you, to present Austin Langmire, Mr. Craig Langmire.
Good afternoon, y'all. Good to see you. Golly. I want to start off by just saying thank you to Steve Dement, as many have. But Steve, what you have done, what God led you to do and that you followed through is just absolutely incredible. And really grateful for that. Also grateful for Rod and Heather Fletcher, who are not here, but just all their support for the Langemeier family and all that we did there, as well as obviously the Brook Hill School. Thank you for Braxton Brady for what you're doing to lead here at this school. And Wally, unbelievable that you've put up with 5 different Langemeiers coming through this program. So thank you. There's a special spot for you in heaven. Austin, congratulations on this. This is a big deal. This is really fun. I have 2 quick memories to share with you. One, when Austin was a freshman, he surprised me and a few others by qualifying for state in the 2 mile and the mile, or 3,200 and 1,600, I guess as they call it. And he was also, well, I'll get to that one in a second. So he qualifies for state. We go down to Waco on Friday night for his 3,200 meter event, and he runs and has a fantastic race that was a down to the finish, and he got second place and lost by 3/100ths of a second in a 2 mile race. The next day, he has the 1,600 meters in the afternoon, but I had committed 6 months before to do a wedding that day in San Antonio. And so I had to drive to San Antonio and pull over on the side of the road and to find some internet. And so I got to watch you race and win your first state championship at a Krispy Kreme donut on a screen, where I screamed like a fool for the last 30 seconds of that race as you outlasted that guy, and then I cried like a baby as you won that race while hugging several donut-eating Krispy Kreme people. Second memory was this, and it goes to the multi-sport deal, but your sophomore year you played varsity football as well as running cross country, which you know Friday night football followed by early morning Saturday cross country is a random combo. But he actually qualified for state for that in cross country, but he had a football game on Friday night where we were playing All Saints here in Tyler, and he's supposed to be in Waco the next morning. So he decided to play the first half of the football game, where he had a pick 6, and then at halftime we packed up his stuff and went down to Waco, where he was able to finish in the top 10 and become first team All-State. It was a crazy, classic Brook Hill multi-sport moment. And that's got to be some kind of record too, by the way, I think. I don't know where they keep that stuff. 2 things. Well, let me go back. Austin, you've had an incredible athletic career here at Brook Hill. It was really, really fun to watch you. You were and are strategic and competitive and one of the hardest workers I know. But 2 things stood out to me during your athletic career that have continued to this day. And that's you push yourself to be the best, and you make those around you better. Your mom and I are so proud of you. We love you. We think the best of you. Congratulations, Austin. It's a great honor.
Thank you. I'd like to start by first thanking my mom. You taught me what it means to be competitive through the game Connect 4. I think you beat me every time until I was like 20. I still remember the first time I beat you, I had to come around to your side of the board and be like, it was right here. That's where it happened. And so thank you. I learned I love to win from you, and I love to compete because of that. Thank you. Second, I'd like to thank my dad. My freshman year of high school, he did every single track workout with me. And so you taught me perseverance and work ethic. And you also taught me how to mentally break down opponents as you played them. And it worked back then, and it still works now on my brothers Beck and Noah. And so thank you. Speaking of Beck and Noah, this jacket in honor has given me incredible ammo for the rest of my life. I love to talk noise to those two, and this is great. It's a great day for me for that. They love to bring up the level of competition. That's something they really like to bring up. And I'm not going to lie, we did run against Texas School of the Deaf in track and field, but I do not think we played Texas School of the Blind in football. We did win most games, like 70-0, but they could all see, I think, right? Yeah. So that was really fun. I'd like to close by thanking my coaches, Coach Pirtle, Coach Dawkins, and Coach Vincent. It was an honor playing for you guys, and I've taken so many lessons from you. Thank you. I'd also like to shout out to Jackie Lee. I'm not sure if he was the mastermind or a mad scientist, but either way, it was more fun to have him around. So, I'd like to close by thanking Brook Hill. Thank you for this honor. Thank you for this jacket. And thank you for allowing all of us to come to all Brook Hill sporting events for free in the future. That's really kind. That's really kind. That was in the email, right? That was it, yeah? Okay. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
It's my first time to meet Austin today. Never a Langmire without a personality. I love it. At this time, it is my privilege to introduce our next inductee into the athlete category, and that's Mr. A.J. Minter. A.J. was a multi-sport athlete here at Brook Hill, participated in baseball, football, and basketball. Went on to play collegiately at Texas A&M. Always one in every crowd. He was drafted by the Atlanta Braves in the second round, number 75 overall, and currently plays for the New York Mets. Most of you know, as we were all following in 2021, A.J. pitched for the Atlanta Braves as they won the World Series. He was a state champion in baseball here at Brook Hill in 2010, 11, and 12, and then was first-team All-State in 10, 11, and 11 and 12, as well as first-team All-District in those 2 years as well. And for what may be the most entertaining presentation of the afternoon, or maybe second, I don't know who's going to win, but to present A.J. Minter is fellow inductee J.B. Moss.
If I fumble my way through this, please forgive me. I'm dealing with some pretty crazy jet lag at the moment. The cutter. Isn't it strange how 2 words can change a man's life forever? What started on a well below average bullpen mound at 16 years old has our next inductee still in the big leagues 15 years later. A wise man once told me that most people are remembered for one of 3 things when their career is over. You're known as a success, be that wins, championships, or personal accolades. Or you're known as a survivor, be that injuries, the losses, or personal battles you faced along the way. Or you're known as a significance, be that someone who gets out of themselves to lift up everyone else around them. There are very few who are remembered for all three. Our next inductee is certainly one of the rare ones. He's a success. He's a two-time state champion. He's Texas A&M's ace and Friday night starter. He's a Team USA participant and gold medal winner. He's a second-round draft pick. He's an MLB World Series champion. He's a survivor. He's overcome 4 surgeries. He's still in the major leagues at 32 years old. And he's quite a significance. He has a quiet, special confidence about him. He's a true team guy who brings out the best in everyone around him. He's very lovable, and everyone up here could attest to that. 2 of the best highlights of our friendship, being asked to be his best man, which I crushed, and now to induct him into the Hall of Honor. I'm extremely proud to call him a friend, a teammate, and a brother. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome A.J. Minter.
Well, JB, that went better than I expected. You took it easy on me this time. All right, let me get to the, all right, well, first of all, I want to say thank you to everyone being here today, especially family and friends. Congratulations to all the athletes and coaches that are being honored today, and thank you to the selection committee for putting this on and allowing us athletes and coaches to represent this amazing school. I'll make this speech short and sweet because I get to talk about this guy next to me right after this. But Brook Hill has meant more to me than I realized. This amazing school not only prepared me for academically and athletically, but prepared me for the real world. Growing up in East Texas, you can be sheltered and oblivious to the craziness, in our country and the world. I've had the privilege to travel all over the country and meet different people with, different religions, political beliefs, and core values. But Brook Hill and this community has always grounded me and helped me stay true to myself and what I believe in. And for that, I'm super thankful for this school and the staff that has paved the way, for us students. So for that, I want to say thank you to all the staff members and teachers. Thank you to my coaches, Coach Pirtle, Coach Dawkins, Coach Reed, Coach Collins, both David and Sean Collins, and to all my coaches that have pushed me and prepared me. You taught me how to handle success, but most importantly, how to deal with failure. And I'm sorry, Coach Pirtle, I should have got you one more ring sophomore year. Still haunts me to this day. But I think that was, looking back, probably one of the best things for me in life was going through failure, and with everyone. And to my teammates and friends, thank you for your unbelievable memories. I think Brook Hill was excited and relieved when we all graduated. We were a pretty rowdy group. I'm still best friends to this day with my close group of friends from Brook Hill, and I know that's pretty rare, and I wouldn't change it for the world. And to my family and my parents, thank you for your support and sacrifices you have made for me, and it doesn't go unnoticed. And I want to finally thank my beautiful wife, Anna. Anna was a star athlete here at Brook Hill as well, supposedly. Just a little more recent than I was. Now, I didn't know Anna growing up, but one of the main things that drew me close to her was that she was raised here, and we both shared this community at Brook Hill. And that was important to me. I was searching everywhere for her, and little did I know she was right here all along. So for that, I want to thank Brook Hill for bringing me my wife. And thank you, Anna, for everything you do for me. I love you. Lastly, I have to thank God, even though I fall short every day He continues to bless me more than I deserve. And as I close this out, I'm super honored to be here today. And it's my responsibility to represent this amazing school and to give back, but also inspire the next group of athletes and students that come through Brook Hill. And I'll continue to do my best doing that moving forward on and off the field. I'm proud to call Brook Hill my family and my home. Thank you.
Our next Hall of Honor athlete category inductee is Mr. J.B. Moss. J.B. was a multi-sport athlete here at Brook Hill as well. He played baseball, football, and track. He was a baseball player at Texas A&M. I'm waiting. There it is. There it is. J.B. was drafted by the Atlanta Braves in the 7th round with the number 199 overall pick. He was a 3-time state baseball champion here with Coach Terry Purtle, 2010, 2011, and 2012. More all-state baseball selections than you can shake a stick at. He was first-team all-state in football in the 2009-2010 school year, and he was also first-team all-district in that year as well for football. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, to present Mr. J.B. Moss, A.J. Minner.
All right, it's my turn, JB. All right, here today to present my best friend, JB Moss, for today's inductee. And before I do that, I get the privilege to talk about my best friend. All of his accomplishments and achievements, the stuff you don't like to compliment your best friend on. Even though at my wedding 2 months ago, as you heard, JB gave his best man speech and decided to turn it into a roast and embarrass me in front of everyone. And I would love nothing more, to get up here and roast JB today, but I decided it's probably best to be nice, and this isn't the time and place to do it. So I'll be the bigger man, JB. JB and I go way back, even before Brook Hill. Growing up in Tyler, everyone knew who JB was. He was Mr. Popular, superstar athlete, good looking, and could get any girl he wanted. I remember growing up, I always had to compete against JB, whether that was in basketball or baseball. And he was kind of annoying because everything he did, he was, pretty good at. The guy that always wears too many armbands and cool stuff. Yeah, that was JB. And as much as I didn't like him at the time, I actually wanted to be just like him. So when I made my decision to switch and come to Brook Hill, the main reason is because I didn't want to compete against JB anymore. I wanted to be his teammate. So my first year at Brook Hill, our sophomore year, I got to really see how special JB was. On the football field, I've never seen a person with more, God-given talent. JB was always the fastest person on the field. Nobody stood a chance. He was breaking receiving yard records, touchdown records. He was kicking 50-yard field goals for fun, playing backup quarterback some, and defense as a sophomore. He was truly unbelievable to watch. Now, I will say JB was the kind of player that did not like to get hit. I think that's why he could run so fast. Then baseball season came around, and it was pretty much the same thing. JB could play any position and was by far the most talented athlete on the field. But most importantly, he was a leader and a captain. JB was a vocal guy that everyone gravitated to, including myself. Going into our junior year, JB was already on the map for D1 colleges for both football and baseball, and without a doubt, he could have gone and played both in college if he really wanted to. But we knew he wanted to play just baseball. Junior year was pretty much the same thing. Received all-state in both sports, us winning the state championship in baseball, and the recruiters, started to pile up. Me, on the other hand, I wasn't really on the college radars yet, but being a great friend and teammate JB was, he told me to come play for a summer ball team out of Dallas called the Dallas Patriots. He said, if you want to get exposure from colleges, you need to come play for this team. This team was already pretty much full at the time, but JB put a good word in me and got me an invitation to come try out. Long story short, made the team. We're traveling around the country, playing in showcases in front of top colleges and Major League Scouts. At the time, I knew Texas A&M was really heavy on JB and wanted him. I had a few colleges started to come in and show interest, but not A&M. So what does JB do? He calls the A&M recruiter coordinator and tells them, you got to come watch this left-handed pitcher play. Well, they end up coming, watch us at a tournament. Within the next few days, A&M calls both JB and I and offer us a scholarship and invite us to campus for an official visit. So we go on our visit together, and we knew right away that we wanted to go to A&M. But as we were driving back home, JB told me, I'm going wherever you want to go. We started this together, and we are finishing this together. So as soon as we got home, we both decided to commit to Texas A&M, and then both of us getting drafted. Yes, and I could go on and ramble on about our times at A&M. Those are some pretty good stories. And also us getting drafted by the Atlanta Braves together and playing professional ball together. But I'll close with these last remarks. The reason I tell you all this is because I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for this guy over here. Throughout all the things we've been through together, the good and the bad, JB has always looked out for me, but also puts everyone before himself. And that's what makes him special and why we're honoring him today. Not just because of all the rewards and records he broke, but because of the person he is. So I personally want to thank you, JB. Thank you for pushing me. Thank you for pushing everyone around you to be better. I love you, buddy. So with that being said, I would like to congratulate and present JB Moss.
Okay. First, thank you to the Hall of Honor Committee for this incredible honor. Walking these halls as a student, I always told myself I wouldn't peak in high school. Well, here we are, officially a high school hero. When David Collins asked me for a list of accomplishments, I realized how pointless individual accomplishments are. None of them stuck with me. It's the special achievements we achieved as a team that I remember. Winning 2 state championships, playing in 2 more, winning an SEC championship, and accomplishing the dream of playing for 2 major league organizations. I chased numbers for a while during my career, only to realize the real magic are the people, the teamwork, and the laughs we shared along the way. What a wonderful reminder for all of us to live for something greater than ourselves. In a world that loves the spotlight, there's always an invisible list of people who make special things possible. For me, it was coaches, teammates, family, and mentors who pushed me, believed in me, and kept me grounded when I forgot what I was chasing. To my Brook Hill family, Steve Dement, Ginger Bell, Sean Collins, Vince Veazey, Rod Fletcher, David Collins, Jim Klazak, Bobby Stroop, Terry Purtle, Travis Chick, Austin Reed, Kent Travis, Wally Dawkins, plus countless teammates. Thank you for your time, your effort, and your belief in me. To me, Brook Hill isn't just a school. It's a special place where hard work and camaraderie turn dreams into reality. Most of all, thank you to my family. To my grandparents and my siblings, you followed me all across the country. I always felt your support, and it means the world to me. Sorry. To my parents, every day I get older, I appreciate all your selflessness more. The late night road trips, the early morning alarm clocks, the financial investment, all the time spent helping me chase my dreams. I'm grateful, and I'm forever in debt to you. Thank you again, Brook Hill. I couldn't be more proud to be inducted into the Hall of Honor. Thanks.
last but certainly not least, our final Hall of Honor inductee in the athlete category is none other than Mr. Travis Purtle. And Travis also was a multi-sport athlete at Brook Hill, competing in football, baseball, and basketball. Two-time state baseball champion, state champion football team in 2011. Was a two-time first-team All-State baseball player, as well as first-team All-District. A two-time All-State football player as well on the first team. And a two-time first-team All-District football player as well. And here to present Travis today is his father and fellow inductee, Coach Terry Purle.
AJ, did you say rowdy? That group? Yes. Was awesome, though. Was awesome. So this is the moment that I get to bless my son, and I hope my words don't fail me here. This is a special occasion for the Pirtle family. Travis, your mother and I are so proud of you, and the fact that you survived the rowdy crowd over here. I know it wasn't easy. Coaching your own son is a difficult task. Socially, Travis handled it with just grace. When y'all were being rowdy, sometimes Travis wasn't involved. And a lot of times that was you knowing boundaries with the coach's son and Travis knowing boundaries as the coach's son. And I thank you guys for loving on Travis and being a huge part of his life. You guys were incredible, so thank you for that. But I'm going to get on with this. I've known Travis for a very long time. I've watched him grow, compete, fail, get back up, and succeed. I'm proud to say he's not only a Brook Hill Hall of Honor recipient, he's my son. When I think about Travis as an athlete, 3 words come to my mind: hungry, humble, smart. Those traits defined him on the field, and they've served him even more powerfully in life after athletics. Travis was hungry. He always wanted to get better. He was fortunate to play alongside high-level athletes at Brook Hill. Here they are. And instead of being intimidated, he worked day after day to develop skills that helped others succeed. He understood that improvement wasn't about spotlight, but about preparation. He was humble. Travis was always a team first guy. When I told him we were changing schools his sophomore year, his response was simply, "Let's go." When I told him it was best for the team that he play wide receiver instead of quarterback his senior year, he never flinched. No complaints, no ego. He put himself aside and did what was best for the team. That was Travis every time. His senior year, we won a state championship with him playing wide receiver. But his greatest trait that he possesses to this day is he's very smart. In his very first game as a 6-year-old coach's pitch, Travis was playing shortstop. There was a man on first and second, and they hit a line drive right to him, taking him towards second base. He caught the ball, stepped on second base, threw it to our first baseman, who miraculously caught the ball. Y'all know coach's pitch, right? And then headed straight to the dugout. And everybody was standing there going, "What just happened?" As Travis was going, "Come on, guys. That's triple play. Let's go. Get in here." People were stunned. I wasn't. He was smart. Even then, he was thinking 2 moves ahead. That instinct has never left him. In every sport he played, he understood the game, his role, and how to evaluate the people around him. He was the consummate role player as a teammate. I hope you guys agree. His true character was revealed during his senior year. In our first playoff football game on November 11th, 2011, not that I remember that, Travis dislocated his ankle and broke his fibula 10 feet away from me. The doctor told him he would not play baseball his senior year. What people didn't know, what they couldn't measure, was his hard work ethic. After months of intensive rehab, Travis reported to baseball on March 11th, Not that I remember that date. His gait wasn't fully healed, but his determination was. That season, Travis hit 5'11" and led the nation in singles. That's a joke. Couldn't run very well because of his gait. Get it? But he just didn't return. He excelled. He assumed a different role in the lineup, and he became an RBI person for our team. Travis has always been the glue on a team or in our family. He does the right thing when no one is watching. He stays true to his character, and today he's accomplishing things in his professional life that most men don't reach until their 40s. I never doubted that the character forged through athletics would carry him forward. I believe that Brook Hill had a huge role in that, and the people he played with here and the coaches that invested in him. It was tremendous. Ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at athletes up here that Brook Hill should be very proud of, not just as athletes with accolades, but you can tell the fruit of our labors is sitting right in front of you. And I was fortunate enough to coach 6 of these people up here. Finally, I want to thank the Brook Hill School for the coaches who poured into Travis, the teammates who walked beside him, and a culture that values character as much as competition. Brook Hill didn't even just shape an athlete, it shaped a man. Our family will always be grateful to the role this school has played in our family's journey, especially Travis's. I'm incredibly proud to call Travis my son. I love you, son. Congratulations.
All right, I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing the Pirtles talk up here, so I'll make this quick. I just want to start out by thanking everyone on the committee, all the coaches, Coach Reed, Coach Collins, Coach Hubbard, Coach Springer, and Coach Dawkins for really putting me in a really strong class here that I don't know if I feel up to the task. Mr. Dement, I gotta thank you so much for what you've done here at the Brook Hill School. Coming here from a much different school, public school that I, didn't know this was an option that you could attend. I'm just incredibly blessed to have been in your presence and everything that you've created for everyone here. I'd like to thank my family, my mom, my sisters, who obviously followed me around to every small town in East Texas playing baseball for however many years, and then, Dallas every week for baseball and football games. It's incredible that you guys actually followed me through that, watching me play. Olivia, thank you for sticking it out. But I think most importantly today, I would like to thank my dad. Having a football coach as your dad is pretty tough. When it's your dad being your coach, it's really tough. When he's also your baseball coach, also tough. Having an off day at practice, it happens. Having your dad see it every day, it's tough. But, just having the encouragement every day on the drive home to be, stern, but, there for me was incredible. I know as a football player, I wouldn't have been who I was without him. To take me aside in 7th grade and show me how to read a midline on an option, pretty much against my will. In high school, whenever, we'd have a rough game or one of our few losses, showing me how my route should have been run. Actually really helpful. In baseball, I would not have been the baseball player I was without, I don't know how many hours of batting practice and ground balls that he's given to me. I'm surprised his arm is still attached to his body. I know some of you guys can attest to his BP, pretty good. He still got it. I've seen him do it. My nephew Wyatt is in line for that. As a teammate, he made me better. I wouldn't be the teammate I was without his example. In life, I mean, you follow him as a beacon, and that's what I did. His selflessness and service is something that, I really found that I could excel in, and I decided that was going to be who I was as a person. And then finally, I couldn't consider what I am today as a man without my father. Sorry, I'm just kind of sad the Cowboys aren't playing tonight. His hard work, day in and day out, seeing him as a football coach, it was incredible. Every night, 8 o'clock, he'd come home, spend time with me, wake up 6 a.m. the next morning, back to practice. And after football season, guess what? It's baseball season. And then in the summer, guess what? It's baseball camp, football camp, summer workouts. And maybe had 10 days off a year that he spent going to baseball tournaments for me. Finally, I think the biggest thing that I learned from him is him leading by example and not by his words. He showed all the things that you said today through his actions and not just the things he said. That's something I really strive to be as a man in the future. And I just can't thank him enough for everything he's done for me. And he's the reason why I was here today. So thank you guys so much for accepting the Pirtles, who can be a lot, into this Brook Hill family, but I don't know who I would be today without it. So thank you guys so much.
All right, at this time, we would like for all of our individual honorees to step forward for a group picture. So all of our individual honorees. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, let's give our inaugural class of athlete inductees into the Brook Hill Hall of Honor a big round of applause.
To make a successful athletic program, you must not only have good athletes and great coaches, but as well those who play a support role behind the scenes. At this time, we want to recognize a very special group of people who played a significant role in the Brook Hill Athletic Program from the years 1997 through 2012, and continue to be supporters of Brook Hill Athletic Program even today. The contributors we are honoring this afternoon have provided time, resources, and talents, along with encouragement and never-ending support to our Brook Hill student athletes, the coaching staffs, and the school as a whole. On the screen, you see the criteria for contributors. They have made significant contributions, including, but not limited to, time, resources, support, or influence in promoting the Brook Hill Athletic Department. They have promoted the Brook Hill School and the Brook Hill Athletic Department, both publicly and privately. They have never been involved in an event or activity that would bring reproach upon the Brook Hill School or the Brook Hill Athletic Department. And they believe in and support the mission, vision, and core values of the Brook Hill School and are of good character. Here to present our inaugural class of the Brook Hill Athletics Hall of Honor in the contributors category, please welcome to the stage Brook Hill Athletic Director, Coach Wally Dawkins.
You know, at Brook Hill, we are very fortunate to have literally countless numbers of people who have a generous spirit, a servant's heart, and a strong desire to make our school and athletic department successful. As the athletic director here at Brook Hill for the past 18 years, I've really been blessed to have been associated with many of these people. The Brook Hill School has grown, and it continues to grow. And the Brook Hill Athletic Department has thrived, and due to the generosity of these supporters, our students have greatly benefited as athletes, teammates, and competitors. From the very beginning, our school's founder, Mr. Steve Dement, has been adamant that we provide a championship athletic program. A couple of years ago, in the middle of what we called a director's meeting, I asked Mr. Dement if we were okay with just being average or mediocre in athletics. Mr. Dement's response, absolutely not. The leadership that Mr. Dement has provided, his vision for the Brook Hill School and the athletic department has played a key role in the 19 state championships, 18 state runner-ups, and many more Final Four appearances. Mr. Dement's wisdom, his guidance, his willingness to support Brook Hill athletics financially, as well as continually giving encouragement while imploring us to achieve success on every level in every sport, male and female. This has made him a unanimous selection to the Brook Hill Athletics Hall of Honor. It is my privilege to present to you our first inductee in the inaugural class in the contributors category, Mr. Steve Dement.
Well, it's good to be here today. Thank you all for coming. You know, I'm deeply honored, but frankly, I'm a little bit amused to be standing here this afternoon. Most of you know I've never seriously played a sport, and my athletic highlights mostly involve enthusiastic cheering from the sidelines. Growing up, I considered it a great victory when I wasn't the last person selected for the middle school PE kickball team. You know, when this school was founded, we believed that education extended way beyond the classroom. Athletics were never about trophies alone, although they are important, but it was more about discipline, perseverance, teamwork, and learning how to honor Christ in both victory and defeat. Sports have a unique way of teaching lessons that classrooms simply can't. I am so grateful to the coaches who have poured their hearts into our students, to the athletes who have represented this school well and with character, and to the families who have supported them every step of the way. You are the ones who have brought this vision to life. I will always be a committed supporter of athletic program, because I've seen how God uses it to build leaders, strengthen faith, and form young men and women who understand that their identity is not in winning, but rather in whose they are. So thank you, Coach Dawkins and the committee, for this unexpected but amusing honor. Congratulations to each recipient here today. All glory be to God, and go Guard. Thank you.
We all know Mr. Dement was a linebacker at Baylor. On my arrival at Brook Hill in 2008, I immediately recognized several names on different buildings. Names like Ornelis, Harrington, Kimry dotted the landscape of the Brook Hill School. Ornelas Hall, which is now the home of the Brook Hill Middle School, and is part of what we call the Quad, situated adjacent to the newly erected Soul Center for the Arts, which we're in today, Founders Hall, and Lauderdale Hall. And then there is still what is the home of our varsity volleyball and basketball teams, known as Harrington Gymnasium. At Brook Hill, as with most private schools, finances can be tight. As most everyone knows, starting football can be quite expensive, and the first thing you need is a field to play on. Harrington Stadium was built as Brook Hill became one of the few schools in the area and the only private school in the area that had a turf field. Again, thanks to the generosity of the Herrington-Ornelas family. In 2008, I visited Brook Hill for the first time. Former head of school Rod Fletcher took me on a visit to the newest building on campus, Kimry Gymnasium at the lower school. Names on buildings are great, and it is truly an honor for all of us to walk around this beautiful campus and see the names associated with the Herrington-Ornelas family. However, what many people do not see is how in many times when the school was just getting started, and even in recent years, this family would contribute to the school with no recognition whatsoever. Not only did the generosity of the Herrington-Ornelas play a huge part in the building of Brook Hill, they have continued to be a strong supporter and have left a legacy that will surpass the test of time. It is with great pride that we recognize the Herrington-Ornelas family as inductees to the Brook Hill Hall of Honor as a contributor to the Brook Hill School.
Here this afternoon, representing the Herrington-Ornelas family, is David Wagner, son of Becky Wagner, who is the daughter of Luis Ornelas.
Hi, I'm David Wagner, former Brook Hill student and grandson of the late Louise Harrington-Ornelas. Joseph Ornelis had hoped to be here today, but unfortunately was unable to attend. On behalf of the Harrington-Ornelas family, I want to say thank you for this induction into the Brook Hill Hall of Honor. Joseph and Louise both loved Brook Hill and wanted to see it succeed from the very beginning. They both felt strongly that sports programs are a vital component of any thriving school, and they both saw the vision for what this school would one day become. Besides Ornelas Hall, which bears their name, Joseph and Louise were instrumental in helping with the Harrington Football Stadium, Harrington Gym, and Harrington Baseball Field, all named after my great-grandparents, Bill and Minnie Harrington of Arp, Texas. Speaking for myself, as someone who competed in football, soccer, and track, I want to personally say thank you to Brook Hill as well. Although my family moved to Tennessee before I finished high school, I have wonderful memories of my time at Brook Hill that include the opportunity to be on the very first football and soccer teams to walk into Harrington Stadium, the unique privilege of playing soccer with fellow students from many different countries, and the blessing of having coaches like David Collins and Sean Collins, who demonstrated what it meant to be godly mentors. And for these memories, I'm very grateful. But nothing, and I mean nothing, can top the memory and the satisfaction of beating Grace. Thank you, Brook Hill. Go Guard.
In 2010, our softball program at Brook Hill was relegated to playing games and practicing on what we know as the backfield. It was actually closer to Highway 2493 than it was to the school itself. A young lady by the name of Desiree Rowan, who was a member of the softball team, was one of those players who would walk through high grass, weeds, and sinkholes as they passed the baseball field where the boys got to practice. Then a couple by the name of Corene and Clarence Schwab arrived. Corene and Clarence were the grandparents of Desiree Rowan. They were both interested in making some minor improvements to the softball field, including, and this was big with Corene, a sidewalk that the girls could walk on and 2 new sets of bleachers for the fans. They soon decided that those additions, although needed and necessary and appreciated by our girls, were not enough. I remember to this day being in a meeting with Clarence and Rod Fletcher. Having a daughter, I kind of know the buttons to push with dads. I looked at Clarence and I said, Clarence, our girls need a new softball field right beside the boys. Clarence looked at me and said, now that's a proposal I can support. The rest is history. Not only did the Schwabs build what we know as Schwab Field, they also built a new concession stand, restroom area, and coaches' offices. On the backside, the Schwabs built a new 13-lane batting cage that was used by both softball and baseball teams at Brook Hill. Schwab Field and Training Center has provided a state-of-the-art facility for our softball team to utilize as they have advanced to the state Final Four on numerous occasions, including winning the state softball championship in Class 5A in 2024. Not only did the Schwab's generosity and interest completely change the direction of our softball program by building the new field, training center, concession stand, restroom areas, and offices, they have supported the Brook Hill School and Brook Hill Athletics by giving of their resources on numerous occasions to benefit our students. Unfortunately, Corene Schwab recently passed away. She's already missed by many of us, especially her family and friends. However, today we are extremely honored. I'm extremely honored that Clarence Schwab is with us tonight. Clarence, we welcome you into the Brook Hill Athletics Hall of Honor for your years of continued support. Mr. Clarence Schwab.
Anthony Springer, head softball coach at Brook Hill, will present Mr. Schwab with his blazer and trophy.
Thank you, Mr. Dawkins. Thank you, Coach Springer. My first journey with Brook Hill School happened in 2007 when we had our granddaughter to find a place that was big enough to have variable sports available to it, as well as a Christian education. So we enrolled her in 2007 in the 5th grade. And when she got old enough to start playing softball, Mr. Dawkins already told you about the situation in the field and everything, so I was very glad that we were able to help out on it. And our first team was played 2011, and we had a very successful 23-5 win over the other team. And so from there on out, Mr. Coach Springer has done a good job of having a lot of other successful girls teams there, and the rest of the facilities is used by the boys and the girls. And I was glad to be able to help out. And excuse me, I'm also happy that we were able to add to the facilities that Mr. Steve Dement started back in 1997. And through his vision and his courage, he had built a beautiful school here, which is everyone should be proud of, and it's good for the community, and as far as that goes, it's good for America. Thank you.
In the category of contributor for induction into the Brook Hill Athletics Hall of Honor, our final individual recipient is a family who, in the entire history of the Brook Hill School, especially in all the all-important early stages, this family has been a staunch supporter and contributor to Brook Hill Athletics. In 2008, Brook Hill really didn't have a weight room. You remember our weight room? It was a closet. There was no training room to take care of our athletes or to rehab injuries. There was no designated area for the cheerleaders to practice. Coaches' offices mainly consisted of somewhere you could put a desk in the school. All in all, the athletes at Brook Hill did not have a place. They did not have something they could call home. And then David and Shirley Lake and the Lake family made the decision to be the lead donor in what is now known as the Kyle Lake Athletic Center. Their son Kyle was the first athletic director at Brook Hill, and he died tragically in an accident. In memory of Kyle, David and Shirley decided to make a major contribution to the Brook Hill School, which benefited the Brook Hill Athletic Department and all students at Brook Hill. The Kyle Lake Athletic Center, where many of you were today, known to us as KLAC, was erected in 2010 to serve the needs of Brook Hill student athletes and the coaching staff. With a state-of-the-art weight room, training room, cheer room, large dressing rooms for male and female athletes, and administrative offices, as well as offices for men and women's coaches, Kyle Lake Athletic Center was born. The building of the Kyle Lake Athletic Center has completely changed the direction of Brook Hill Athletics. Not only did the KLAC provide all the need for our student athletes, to this day, it is still a showpiece on campus where guests come into Founder's Suite that overlooks Harrington Stadium. Recently, the interior of college offices and the Office of College Recruiting, where we provide all of our student athletes, male and female, the opportunity to partner with Sports Recruits College Placement that serves our athletes free of charge to our families. To the Lake family, your investment in the lives of the student athletes at Brook Hill in building the Kyle Lake Athletic Center has been if not the most singular difference makers in our championship athletic department, if not the most significant. Your vision, your generosity, and your recognition of the need we had in athletics has been a blessing in the lives of countless athletes and coaches. It is my pleasure to introduce and announce David, Shirley, Jonah, and April Lake, the Lake family, as inductees into the Brook Hill Athletics Hall of Honor. Thank you to the Lakes.
Thank you, Wally, and the selection committee. Our family is very honored and very grateful and thankful for this very prestigious award. And I had a 3,500-word speech written, and Wally asked me to whittle it down to about 50. So, no, our family is very honored for this. And Kyle is not here, and he's looking down from above today, I'm sure smiling. But he was, like Wally mentioned, the director of the first sports camp. And I remember at the time Kyle saying, wow, Brook Hill is going to be special. I wish we had a Brook Hill in Waco. And he really wanted to have Brook Hill in Waco because he couldn't live in Tyler. So, but thank you, Steve, for what you started many years ago and your friendship with our family. It truly means a lot to us. And as our family, all we can do is just pray that God would use us each and every day to serve Him and glorify Him. And we just want to move out of the way and let the Lord use us. And it's our honor to be a part of this. Thank you.
At this time, we would like all of our inductees in the contributor category to please make your way to the front of the stage. Congratulations once again to all of our individual inductees into the Brook Hill Athletics Hall of Honor. Let's give all of our inductees in this category a big round of applause. From the years 1997 through 2012, Brook Hill won 7 state championships, which is not only quite remarkable for a young school, but also set the foundation for future teams by setting the bar high for the teams that would follow. Here are the criteria to be honored as a team in the Hall of Honor. They must have won a state championship. While winning a state championship, the team represented the Brook Hill School in a positive manner. While winning a state championship, they did nothing to bring reproach upon the Brook Hill School. At this time, welcome back our co-master of ceremonies, Jeremy Hubbard and Aaron Swink.
Thanks, Brian. In 2004, Brook Hill won its first ever state championship in a team sport in baseball. Under the direction of newly inducted Brook Hill Athletics Hall of Honor coach Sean Collins, who quite literally created this program from nothing. At this time, I want to invite all the players and coaches who are with us, who are members of the 2004 Brook Hill State Baseball Championship team, to come up to the stage area. I know there are many of you here, had a great time talking with those guys earlier today at the reception. And most of them look like they could still play. I think Lucas Thomason could probably still hit about 90. So But seriously, so good to see these guys, classmates of mine, teammates of mine personally. But this team started it all. Head coach was Sean Collins. Assistant coach Brandon Krim, Aaron Clements, Marcus Connor, Joey Evans, Craig Halbrooks, David Holloman, Eric Kennedy, Matt McDowell, Chase Ruby, Chris Shield, Nori Sugawara, Austin Taylor, Lucas Thomason, and Vincent Wade. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2004 Brook Hill Baseball State Champions.
At this time, please come to the center of stage for a team picture. Congratulations to these outstanding players and coaches for their induction to the Brook Hill Athletics Hall of Honor. Let's hear a big round of applause one more time for the 2004 State Baseball Championship team.
In 2009, our girls golf team began a run that would culminate in back-to-back state championships. If you're a member of the 2009 or 2010 Girls State Championship golf teams, if you'll make your way, Coach Agnew, I believe, is over here, unless he ran away, over here to this right side of the stage to be recognized. Our 2009 and 2010 girls golf teams, under the direction of Coach Tim Moore, our girls golf teams were district champions, regional champions, and state champions in both 2009 and 2010. As I mentioned, Coach Tim Moore was the coach of both those teams in 2009 and 2010. Stevie Alexander, member of the 2009 and 2010 teams. Paige Farrell, member of the 2009 and 2010 teams. Sarah Thigpen was a member of the 2009 and 2010 teams. Carly White was a member of the 2009 state champions. Kaylee Hall was a member of the 2010 state champions. And Jessica Tipton was a member of the 2010 state champions.
Let's give that team a great round of applause.
This time we would like to continue recognizing our state golf champions. If you are a member of the 2011 Boys Golf State Championship team, would you please make your way up to the stage? Our 2011 Boys Golf team were district champions, regional champions, and they were under the direction of head coach Tim Moore. Members of the 2011 State Championship team were Tyler Burton, Carter Clements, Ross Lee, Taylor Mahan, and Hunter Shattuck, who I'd like to give a shout out to. Hunter is living in Washington, D.C., and he's streaming this afternoon. So, Hunter, congratulations. And congratulations to all of our boys' 2011 state golf champions.
Congratulations on these outstanding young men for being inducted into the Brook Hill Athletics Hall of Honor. Let's give them one more hand, the 2011 State Boys Golf Champions.
As you've heard a lot about today, in 2011 and 2012, our baseball teams at Brook Hill had a back-to-back run on TAP State Baseball Championships. In fact, many of the players you will meet today went on to win a third state championship in 2012. Since many of these guys were on both teams, at this time, if you were a member of the 2011 or 2012 state baseball champion teams, would you please make your way over here to Coach Agnew just to the right of the stage. A lot of these guys are on both teams. We're going to introduce the 2011 team first. Head coach, Coach Terry Purtle. Coach Travis Chick. Coach Austin Reed. Cody Bryant. TJ Dunks. Michael Greening. Jonah Gonzalez. Dylan Hornick. Kendall Kearns. AJ Minner. Colin Mondrick. Garrett Moore. JB Moss. Quentin Powell. Travis Pirtle. Drew Robertson. And Drew Swink. These are 2011 state baseball champions. The 2012 baseball state champions had a few different names on there. Coach Terry Purtle, Coach Travis Chick, Coach Austin Reed, Matthew Brooks, Hunter George, Jonah Gonzalez, Michael Greening, Dylan Hornick, Wade Karam, Kendall Kearns, Blake Maddox, Chase McDermott, AJ Minner, Colin Mondrick, Garrett Moore, JB Moss, Quentin Powell, Daniel Pretty, Travis Pirtle, Drew Robertson, and Logan Walters. And at this time, to introduce or to say a few words about these two teams, Coach Terry Purtle. Surprise.
Surprise. I don't know what's doing this. No, come up here. Support me. Okay. Remember that drive the bus part I was telling y'all about? Basically, this was part of it. These guys were amazing. They were all super talented, but overachievers at the same time. So when you get that core group of people together, then nothing but success is bound to happen out of that. These guys enjoyed, probably too many speeches of me talking about roles of the team and the parts of the team. And, every team needs a soldier. 80% of the team is that, right? And then we need playmakers, and then we need people to be the glue at times when coach wasn't looking. And there was the nails of the team. And, that was pretty obvious that our nails of the team was who, AJ? You. AJ was tough. He was a grinder, and when times got tough, man, you knew AJ was going to step up and do that, right? And then the playmaker. We had so many playmakers on our team, which is unbelievable. You can tell the character of these guys because they didn't care where they hit in the order. They were all capable, and they all played the other roles well when they had an opportunity to. That's what made the team so special, to have a group of talented kids that were winning for each other. That was amazing to see. And what a joy you guys were to coach. You guys were the greatest part of my coaching career. The memories here, like I said earlier, they're never going to leave me. They're going to go with me wherever I go. And I'm going to tell you a story right now. Like, AJ Mentor has saved 8 kids from just playing one sport. He has done that for me in the last 12 years. If there's ever a kid that's trying to decide whether they should play football and baseball or basketball and baseball, I simply pick up the phone and call AJ, and AJ reminds them that, you should play both sports. And we've had that talk. He skipped his senior year of football, and he was crying like a baby on the track. you know, when we won the state football championship, and he has been such an encourager for me in my career to keep high-level kids focused on being multi-talented athletes, multi-sport athletes. AJ, I really appreciate that. That's been great for us. I got stories about JB that I've used with my kids, you know, in different situations about the things that he's done. Tyler Baker, I told you earlier, there have been many times when kids that were a little bit undersized wanted to play college football, and I would put your film on and say, see this guy right here? He scored 134 touchdowns, played wide receiver for Mike Leach. You can do it. Just keep in there. Hang in there. And so, you know, these kids right here made my job easy, but Brook Hill made my job fantastic. So thank you guys so much for allowing me to coach here and be a part of these guys. These guys were incredible. So give those guys a hand, please.
Congratulations once again to the 2011-2012 state baseball team for being inducted into the Brook Hill Athletics Hall of Honor. Let's give these champions one more round of applause.
This time, we'd like to invite the 2011 state football champions to make their way down to the stage. The 2011 team was, of course, under the direction of head coach Terry Purtle. And there was Coach Jacob Agnew. Come on, Coach. There he is. Coach Bobby Brashear. Coach David Collins. Coach Rich Larkin. Coach Tim Moore. Of course, as we mentioned, Coach Terry Pirtle. Coach Austin Reed. Coach Les Ray. Malik Alley. Tyler Burton. Colton Campbell. Grady Dennis. Jared Dickey, Mason Dickey, Gunnar Dorsey, TJ Dunks, Josh Ellison, Bailey Franklin, Hayden Frazier, Hunter George, Michael Greening, Grant Hanks, Travis Hood, Dylan Hornick, Graham English, Mason Jones, Wade Karam, Austin Langemeier. Caleb Latson, Ross Lee, Blake Maddox, Chase McDermott, Dan Maling, Garrett Moore, Dylan Murray, Miguel Padilla, Travis Pirtle, Charlie Rincon, Hunter Scamahorn, Matthew Siemens. If you know him, you know his name is Booter. Brian Stevenson, Chima Torquemada, Grant Troxel, Jackson Wagner, Logan Walters, Will Weathers, Clay Wells, Ryan Young, and Mike Zink. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2011 Brook Hill football state champions. And once again, we would like to ask Coach Pirtle to say a little bit about his 2011 state champions. Turn it over to Coach Pirtle.
Okay, sorry, here I am again. Take my baseball hat off and put my football hat on. This was special. This was so special. What a special place and time. What I remember about this was, like Linda Dickey and Jackie. Man, what amazing people. We had so many families that were just an amazing piece of the puzzle in this that make it special for everybody on the team. I remember when I first got the job, I've already told you the story, I was the second choice, but as soon as I left that meeting, I walk outside and there's Jackie Lee waiting on me. And he's like, well, we missed on these kids, but we still got a great stable of kids, and let me start telling you about them. I haven't even signed my contract yet. I'd signed it and walked out, and there he was. And those years with, Talon's dad and Jackie Lee and that crew just working the sideline, they were so amazing and supportive. And the parents that were in the room here today, y'all were so supportive. It was great. And I'm really, when I look back at my football coaching career at the Brook Hill School, one thing haunts me is that Tyler Baker never won a state championship, and he deserved it. He is the best player that ever came through here, and I would challenge to find another one. And for his, we were talking on the way over, my group of guys here as we were walking over, and we think that in 2011, that's when they invented COVID, and it hit our team on that morning of the game against Regents, and Tyler caught it. So, and that was just hilarious. We had 10 guys on our team when we played the game to go to the state championship game against Austin Regents, and they all got sick on the bus. I think JB was sick, and I think AJ was sick. Were y'all all sick as well? I mean, it was incredible. So many IVs and all this, and Ginger said it right. Like, the hearts of these kids and pouring themselves out, trying to win a championship that year, it was sad because we had such a great team. But the next year, our kids decided that we're going to grind, work harder, and accomplish it, and we're going to do it the way we're going to do it this year. And it was a special moment in the history of Brook Hill School. And I think that if I were to do this over again, I wouldn't have it any other way. These kids were special, and thank you to everybody that was a part of that. I hope everybody remembers that year, and I hope Brook Hill gets more football championships. You guys deserve it. Thank you guys very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2011 state football champions.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, those of you that have stuck with us here today and have come out and honored all of these athletes, coaches, and contributors, if you would please join with me in one more big round of applause for these coaches, athletes, contributors, and teams who are forever members of the Brook Hill Athletics Hall of Honor.
And ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to take an opportunity now to look at future induction ceremonies for the Hall of Honor. In February of 2027, athletes, coaches, and teams and contributors from the years of 1997 until 2015 will be eligible for induction. And then in February of 2029, athletes, coaches, and contributors and teams from 1997 to 2018 will be eligible at that time. Jeremy?
Yeah, after the February 2029 ceremony, the Hall of Honor will hold inductions every 3 years, recognizing athletes, coaches, and contributors with teams beginning in the year 1997. It is also good to remember that at each Hall of Honor induction, those who played, coached, or contributed to Brook Hill in a significant way beginning in 1997 are eligible to be inducted. To conclude today's Hall of Honor induction ceremony, please welcome back Athletic Director Wally Dawkins.
Well, thank you. I know it's been a long ceremony, but I hope you feel like it's been worth it. For those of you who are in attendance today, I don't know if you realize it or not, but you are on the ground floor of Brook Hill's newest tradition in athletics. You know, we have many traditions in our athletic department. We have the walk to the rock our football team does for every home game. Our girls volleyball team, you know, walks to the cross on the hill for prayer before every home volleyball team. We say we're all orange because we are. Our favorite cheer is, "Hey, Brook Hill. Hey, Brook Hill, Brook Hill." And so we have many traditions, and this is the latest one. And I'm so glad that you were here. I hope in 20 years from now, you can say, I was at the first Hall of Honor induction. To our student athletes, thank you. You have been the window to the Brook Hill School for the past 30 years. You are what people see. People know Brook Hill because of you. Some might say that our student athletes are the front porch to the Brook Hill School. Since we have had the state championships and runner-ups, it's what people see. To our alumni, thank you. You are the fiber of this school. And I'm making this commitment to our alumni today. Beginning today, and I think you saw this with Coach French, we want you to feel important. We want you to feel involved. We want your input, and we want your ideas. And beginning today, we're going to make a new effort to connect with our alumni in a manner that we haven't before. To parents and grandparents, thank you for the opportunities that you gave us to invest in your kids and grandkids. I know with our coaches, many of our current coaching staff is sitting over here down front to my right. Your children and grandchildren have brought smiles to our faces. Occasionally, a tear to our eye. Most of the time, those were tears of joy. But they put a lot of love in our hearts, and we thank you for that. Now, Mr. Brady, who is our new head of school, might not like me to say this, but parents, grandparents, and alumni, we need a new gym. You know, the Harrington Gymnasium, the Kimry Gymnasium has served our kids well, but we've grown, and we need a new gym. So be prayerful about that. At this time, I'm going to invite Coach Austin Reed to come up and lead us in prayer, and then I want everybody to stand. And in keeping with another one of our traditions, we want you to hold those right arms up high as we sing the fight song. Everybody stand, please. Coach Reed will dismiss us in prayer.
All right, if you guys will pray with me. Father in heaven, we are thankful today. You always tell us to be people who honor those who deserve honor, and ultimately that we would honor you with all that. But I pray that today that those who received honor today would feel it, mostly because you've blessed us. You've blessed us with people who support us. You've blessed us with people who challenge us and motivate us and encourage us to be the very best versions of ourselves. And ultimately, Lord, that comes from you. So I pray that your spirit would constantly be over us, not only in this place as at Brook Hill physically, but also where Brook Hill extends as we go our own ways. Again, we thank you for today, and we give it back to you. And it's in Christ's name we pray. Amen.